It's Carter Sports back, and today we finna talk about some news and notes around USC. So let's go. And if you been here before, can you please hit that like, please? And if you ain't subscribed, boy, you better subscribe. Trojan family, Trojan gang, fight on forever is in the building. And today we finna just talk about some news and notes around the world of USC football. You hear me? Now first, I want to start off with Jackson Lloyd. Now I brought y'all a video on Jackson Lloyd just a couple days ago, right? And now this kid done set a commitment date for June 18th, right? Or is it June 19th? June 18th, right? He said his commitment date. I just made the video. Hopefully I gave the Trojans some good luck and we could get this kid commitment. Now he considering some pretty tough schools. All the schools is decent choices for the most part, except one of them, right? So he got Alabama in his top 6, SC, Tennessee, Ohio State, and Stanford. Then he got Smorgan, you know what I'm saying, in his top 6 as well. So we finna see, like, he finna commit. He a big offensive lineman, 6'7". He's massive. He can move well. He's an athlete. You know what I'm saying? Played multiple sports. This would be a great get. He's a great player, right? So let's keep an update on that. Let's keep an eye on that and see who he can commit to. USC these last couple of years, we've been doing fine on getting talent at the offensive line. So he ain't a must get, but he will be a perfect get and will continue our momentum that we've been having these last couple of seasons on the offensive line. You hear me? Another news I want to get into is Jahkeem Stewart coming to visit USC June 18th. You know what I'm saying? The same day that Jackson Lloyd make his commitment. So June 18th is going to be a busy and important day to pay attention if you USC fans out there. You know what I'm saying? Jahkeem Stewart, 5-star, the number 1 player in the 2026 class. I think he's number 1 overall, period. I know he's the number 1 defensive lineman for sure. This kid is so great and so dominant. Everybody want him to reclassify to the 2025 class, and he's a defensive lineman. Right, that speaks volumes that the college world, USC, I know USC for sure, want him to reclassify, so they feel like he'll be ready after his junior year. That's rare for defensive linemen to be 1 year ahead of the game because, you know, body development, you got to take it to that next level of strength and body maturity and mechanics to play at that college football level. This kid's so dominant, I feel like if he reclassify, I think he'll be the number 1 ranked player even in the 2025 class, right? I think he ranked higher and rated higher than even Elijah Griffin, who's the number 1 D lineman. You know, I had to go double check on that, but coming off the top of my head, I think he'll be the number 1 D lineman for the 2025 class as well. And he's feeling USC. This already, I think, his 3rd time coming since Coach Henney came, right? Ever since Coach Henney came, it's really been up with Jahkeem Stewart with USC, and he only has glowing things to say about the program. I feel really good about this commitment. He from Louisiana, just like Coach Henney. So him and Coach Henney relate already. See, Coach Henney gonna get in your blood. He gonna get in your favor just because how he carry himself, right? And his pedigree. So now you got something to bond with. That little Louisiana, they speaking the same tongue. You feel me? They coming from the same, they both, they gonna get it how they live, you know what I'm saying? They both know it. So keep an eye on this. Jahkeem Stewart. I want this kid to commit. I want him to be an early commit, just like Julian Lewis was a whole year ago, and he could be the head of the 2026 class if he don't reclassify to 2025, right? Then I want to talk about James Carrington. James Carrington, another big dude, defensive tackle, right? Defensive tackle, 6'3", 270. He from Georgia, but he just transferred to Bishop Gorman. He could be playing at Bishop Gorman his junior and senior year, right? James Carrington, his name fits him well. I'm gonna have to do a video on him later. Big defensive tackle, kid could crash. Now, him going to Georgia to Bishop Gorman, that's a big thing. Bishop Gorman is one of them prestigious high school for a kid to go to Georgia and go to Nevada and lead Georgia, that talent they got down there, competition they got down there to play for Bishop Gorman. That speaks values for Bishop Gorman. And him going to Bishop Gorman gets him closer to USC, and USC has ties with Bishop Gorman getting Zachariah Branch. You know what I'm saying? So that put him right in our backyard. You know, that put him closer to Coach Henney. Coach Henney should be able to see him all the time. He said he appreciated the late night love from USC. So they came out and showed him some fun. Yeah, Oregon. Yeah, they showed him that nightlife. You know what I'm saying? See, like he came and got some of that nightlife. James Carrington, a big beast. Keep your eye out on this kid, right? Because we know we need them trenchmen, and you know we got a shot at every last one of them with Coach Henney, right? And the last thing I want to talk about is shout out Jalen Ramsey for showing love to USC. He had added Coach Henney. He said he was just in LA and stopped by to see Coach Henney. And it made him think about and appreciate how much coaching make a difference. Now, I ain't going to read this whole tweet right here, but he tweeted at Coach Henney. He named some coaches. He showed Florida State some love. Of course, he going to do that. His school, you know, he showed Auburn some love, Ohio State. He showed Deion Sanders some love. You know what I'm saying? And he showed SC some love. So all the defensive linemen, like the ones that, and y'all can read his quote right here that's on the screen. You know, I'm gonna leave it up there for a second. All the defensive linemen in this class, in the next class, like I said, like the two guys I just mentioned before this, Jahkeem Stewart and James Carrington. Now they defensive linemen, so they probably don't care what Jalen Ramsey is saying about the DB coach at FSU and whatnot and this and that, but they directly tuning into what he's saying about Coach Henney. Now Aaron Donald already came through and gave his Coach Henney stamp and vouched for him. Now Jalen Ramsey, all this do is boost the shine on USC. This buffer our shine out a little bit more, put a little bit more glitter on our candy paint that we got already, right? So this make us shine a little better. So shout out for Jalen Ramsey for giving us this recruiting boost. You hear me? Right? And I wasn't gonna talk about it, but I see a lot of Trojan fans worrying about, is our commits gonna stay solid? Well, comments like these is gonna help our commits stay solid, because comments and you know, stamps of approval from pro players, that carry a lot of weight, because these players are in the position that these kids that's coming out of high school, they want to be in. You know, these kids at the high school level, they idolize the current NFL players that's playing in the NFL right now. That's their idolization, right? So these words carry a lot of weight. So I want Trojan fans to calm down and chill when it comes to people thinking, oh, Isaiah Gibson gonna flip, Juju Lewis gonna flip. Don't worry about it, right? Don't worry about it. We gonna do just fine. Juju already said he gonna take his visits. So just because he went to Auburn and took some pictures, that don't mean he gonna flip. Yes, kids can flip. I ain't saying that it's 100% locked that we keep all the kids that we got, but as long as they committed until they decommit, show them some love. Stop being insecure. Trojan family, we seem insecure. Don't seem insecure. Y'all letting On3 and all these other websites make y'all feel like all our players gonna flip. But all I ever hear these players say is glowing things about USC, especially Juju and Terry. And one kid don't make a class. One kid don't make a class. We building a fortress, and to build a fortress, it take 1,000 bricks, not just one brick, right? So long as we have talent, long as we have a full class, long as we sign 25 to 30 commits, I don't really care who they is, because I believe in our coaching staff. So if Julian Lewis decommit, I'm pretty sure we'll find another quarterback, whether that be in high school or college, that's good enough to ball, right? If Isaiah Gibson commit, I have confidence that Coach Henney is going to turn Hayden Lowe and Gus Cordova and players like that into beasts, right? And we not going to be the only team that might have other players decommit. Every university got to hold on to their players just like we do. It ain't over for nobody. So I want USC Nation stop falling for the mental programming that they put on us. That we should be scared, that we should feel none of our commitments is solid. But I guarantee you, whether it's Juju, Isaiah, whoever it is, I guarantee you with this coaching staff and with this program, right? And the changes in the NIL landscape and the NCAA, I guarantee you we still have a class of 25, maybe even 30 kids, because we got the scholarships to offer. And I'm pretty sure whether it's Juju Lewis or somebody else, whether it's Isaiah Gibson or somebody else, whoever we get is going to be talented and going to have the potential to be great players. See, I've been going over the recruiting classes for the last 15 and 20 years. And you know one thing's for certain, out of all the 5 stars and the highly rated 4 stars, like players that's top 10 at their position in the country, only half of them pan out. The 5 stars pan out at slightly above highly than the 3 stars pan out. So basically what I'm saying, if you got 10 5 stars, it don't matter what year, what coach, what university, on average 5 of them are gonna actually turn out. You'll be lucky to get 6, 7 out of that 10 to actually be stars. What I'm saying is it's going to be just as many that don't live up to the name in the rankings as it is of those who is going to live up to the rankings, right? So we might lose a Isaiah Gibson, we might lose a Justice Terry, but then we look back 5 years in the future and see that, oh, these players turned out to be average. And guess what? Gus Cordova became the next Max Crosby, or Hayden Lowe became the next Myles Garrett or something. You know what I'm saying? So one of these players, some of these players that we not drooling over, is going to turn out to be players we should have drooled over. And some of these players that we drooling over is not going to turn out to be the players that we're drooling over. So we can't care about one single player that much, long as we get a lot of talent to higher our chances. So if we got 25 to 30 commits on average, half of them is going to turn out. So that's about 12 to 15 kids each class that you could have turn out to be great. And then if you got a great coaching staff, you know, your percentage is a little higher, you're a little bit better than 50%. So with this recruiting, all these kids got talent. So with this recruiting, it's a numbers game in the coach's development game. So don't be all into all the rankings. Look at it as, do this player got a talent, a skill set that can be coached up, whether it's a 3-star or 5-star, right? Do he got the platform to build on, right? Then we could do something with that. So that's what we concerned about, not the rankings, the physical skill set in the potential. And 80%, 90% of all these 5 stars and 4 stars and 3 stars have that potential, right? The 5 stars is just the players who is closer to their potential. The 5 stars is just the players that's more advanced, physically developed on their journey to be grown men, going from boys to men, The 5 stars is the kid that develop quicker into their physical man body. Some kids is still in their kid body. Some kids ain't peaked out yet. That be the only difference between these 3 and 4 and 5 stars. Right? That's why it's plenty 3 stars and 4 stars in the NFL. Right? So don't be worried about who gonna commit, who gonna decommit, and don't be worried about these websites mental programming your mind to feel like we should worry about all our recruits flipping. Worry about the number of kids we have in the class, and do these kids has the potential, because we got a great coaching staff. So any kid that got potential and his mind is right, this coaching staff is gonna make him a star. He at least gonna be they at least gonna be rotational pieces that can contribute. I believe in that coaching staff that much that they could turn wine from water. They could turn water into wine. That's the kind of elite coaching staff we get. So don't keep your head this all in the clouds for the big names. As long as we get guys that got talent and potential, we gonna be good. But until then, man, y'all just stay cool. Don't let this media get to y'all. We gonna be just fine in recruiting. Matter of fact, the regular season and how we look on the field is gonna determine who we get and who we don't get. But until then, it's Carter Sports, it's Trojan City, it's USC. So let's go.